Welcome to my channel. Brewing peaches and nectarines in a northern climate is quite easy. I developed a simple passive greenhouse based on the University of Manitoba design and the Chinese greenhouse that was developed for the climate in northern China. Both designs are based on high-mass thermal storage, while the University of Manitoba design was not particularly passive, as it used circulation fans to move excess heat generated during the day into a heat sink and then used that stored heat to moderate the temperature at night, or it cooled down. The biggest problem of the design: the heat sink took away a lot of area within the greenhouse, approximately 25% of the total space. The Chinese greenhouse was more passive, as it used the brick wall of the structure to act as the thermal storage, but there is a relative high cost of construction, and in colder climates the brick wall would conduct massive amounts of heat out of the structure. The Cryoenco greenhouse design is a combination of both types of greenhouses. It stays warmer at much cooler temperatures than the Chinese greenhouse, and the Manitoba greenhouse only had the front glazing, so plants could only really be started in the greenhouse, and not grown all year long. The Cryoenco greenhouse is a wood structure greenhouse with soil-filled wall cavity, and the glazing wraps the roof structure like a Chinese greenhouse, using a wire mesh on the roof section to support the glazing for added snow load, giving it a much higher insulating value, similar to what the Manitoba greenhouse would have. Added benefit of the high thermal mass of the soil is that it also has lower thermal conductivity, so they are both slow to warm and slow to cool, plus acting as an added thermal barrier to the wall, and a very effective thermal moderator. The greenhouse is neither too hot nor too cold. It artificially creates a hardiness zone 3 to 6 times higher than your current hardiness zone. My current hardiness zone is 2. So I regularly see -45°C in the middle of winter. Since my walls are only 2x4 walls, the greenhouse simulates a hardiness zone of between 5 to 6, which is best zoned to grow peaches and nectarines in. In my 10 years of growing these fruits, I have had no winter kill of any kind. If I was to increase the wall cavity to 6 inches, it would simulate a hardiness zone of between 6 and 8. And another benefit of the high thermal mass is that mechanical venting is not required in the summertime, as it will self-moderate the temperature of the greenhouse to only 5 to 10 degrees warmer than whatever the outside temperature is. All that is required is a simple top vent that operates on natural convection, making it a very passive designed greenhouse. Since fruit trees need to rest during the winter for at least 3 months, I let the greenhouse cool down naturally during the winter, so the trees can go dormant for this time period. Generally, the coldest temperature I will see in the greenhouse is in the dead of winter. When it is -40 or colder, it will be about -16°C at night or warmer. During the day, it will sit around -5°C. The overall average temperature in the greenhouse for the winter is about -7 to 10°C, with a very low temperature fluctuation of around 7 degrees. Unlike a regular style greenhouse, the temperatures will swing wildly between night and day, and can easily have 60-degree swing. This temperature swing will likely kill the trees. It is very important not to have a very wide temperature swing in the middle of winter. If your trees are in containers, it is also important to saturate the container with water in the fall time before it freezes. This will prevent any frost damage to your root structure, and prevent the trees from prematurely awakening in the spring, as the soil will be much slower to warm. On very mild winters, my fruit trees will start to bloom in February or March. On colder winters, usually April or May, I prefer when they bloom later. If they bloom too early, they will just sit in bloom till the beginning of April anyways, as there's not enough light to promote growth until then. Another important thing to do is get yourself some mason bees. They will like this style of greenhouse and make it their home, and stay there all year long as you do not use any pesticides. And then when it warms up in the springtime, they will awaken with the trees and do all your pollination for you. You only need a very few mason bees. They are a very efficient bee at pollinating. That is all that is required to grow peaches and nectarines in cold climates. It is easy to do. I hope my video was of some use to you. If you want more info, feel free to contact me.